Welcome back, Waka Waka. Dow on the comeback trail significantly. Now up in the green, $6. So quite the reversal from the morning. I don't know what news came out that I missed. Dow's down 700, but it's off its lows now. I guess the fear out there was the return of the coronavirus. The fear here in New York and across the country for all small businesses, like all of you watching at home, business people on Biz TV, you know, you got to start opening stores. And you got to let people decide if they want to take the risk of opening, and then let other people decide if they want to take the risk of going into the store. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Right here in New York, I'm part of a group called Unlock the Rock. We had a peaceful demonstration a few weeks back at a local suntanning salon that only holds 8 people. We encouraged people to come down and support the owner, which we did. We had a great day, peaceful. The guy got a fine. He didn't get arrested. He almost got arrested, but we're still at it. One of the things I've been fighting for day after day after day is to get Little League Baseball. Let's get kids back on the ball field, outdoor youth sports. And let's get people back in church, 25% occupancy, 50% occupancy. Those were our demands. Open businesses, open Little League, open churches. Not a lot to ask, and we're making progress on every front that I know of, okay? But making progress all the time on pushing patriotism is my good friend Scott Lebedo. We had him on the show last week on Friday talking about Sunday, Flag Day, Donald Trump's 74th birthday. Scott opened his gallery where he's having a showing of all his patriotic artworks. Great artist. Probably not supposed to be open, okay? It's a retail shop where you buy things, take them out. So he's probably flouting the law a little bit. Police pulled up right before the opening, and they were pretty cool about it, to be honest with you. They were like, hey, you know, just try to keep it small, you know, try to keep less than 10 people in the store, and we're okay. Some people had masks. I saw a whole host of my friends out there. Grand High Exalted Knight of Columbus, Mike McHugh, was there with his wife. He's a regular viewer of the show. And, you know, I brought him up last week when we were talking about, you know, the Christopher Columbus beheadings. What's next? Are they going to ban the Knights of Columbus? I mean, we got probably millions of members. We got to check in with McHugh on that. But the Knights of Columbus might have to energize here. And Scott made some amazing paintings, sold a boatload. I mean, commerce was going down. But I bought a couple of prints. I'm going to have them framed and here on the set somewhere. But 2 particular paintings were really powerful of our president. Take a look at this. This is yesterday at the Scott Lebedo Art Gallery. You see the one on the right, it's like an abstract Trump. And well, on your left, quite the amazing painting on the black. It's stark, it stands out, you know exactly what it is. And the one on my left is just, you know, stoic Trump, flag behind him, and you don't have to think much about what either of these are saying. You know, it's a proud, respectable guy who's trying to run the country in the right direction, while the rest of these lunatics on the left are trying to run it into the ground. Had a great conversation over the weekend with my good friend, New York State Senator Andrew Lanza, who's been the one who's been pushing the ball, busting chops on the governor and everybody in the governor's office to get kids back on the ball fields. And from what I hear, it's going to happen any minute. I'm hoping it's today. I'll report back to you on that. But Andrew was the one who was telling me that, you know, it's very likely that what these people are trying to do now is they're starting the beginnings of changing the Constitution. And if you think that sounds crazy, just so you know, you need a majority of 75% of the states to actually open the Constitution and rewrite it. So now imagine if George Soros keeps pumping money into all these state races. Imagine if 75% of the states were to actually agree to reopen the Constitution or rewrite the Constitution. Congress has, you know, amendment power, but that's what is, they call it a bicameral government because we have 2 houses. The House is the People's House. The Senate is more the old stodgy guys, and right now the Democrats have the House, the Republicans have the Senate, Republicans have the president, and the Supreme Court is mostly Republican. So, I mean, I think we're in good hands. But these autonomous zones are actually terrorist organizations who are encouraging people to join the party and take over parts of cities. And if Rudy Giuliani used to have a policing policy here in New York called the broken window theory, that if, you know, one window gets broken and no one does anything, then the next day 2 more windows will get broken. If no one does anything, then there's more windows, and then they start breaking in, then they start robbing, then they start burglarizing, then the shooting starts. So somewhere, somehow, the states have their rights to empower the National Guard, but the president and the federal government has to see what's happening here, because this is a direct threat to everything we know about freedom and democracy when we let the inmates take over the asylum. So I'm keeping a close eye on that, and from what I hear, it may start happening in Atlanta. There's a town in Tennessee where they may be claiming an autonomous zone. There's no autonomous zones. You're in a country, unless you want to form your own country. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and form some more ideas. Thoughtful conversation for all right after this.